Everyone on the bus that night swore they had never seen anything like it. A single dad janitor, tired, broke, and carrying his little girl, stood between two dangerous men and a terrified young woman he'd never met. The bus driver froze. The passengers looked away. And just when the situation spiraled into something that could have taken his life, the doors hissed open, and a Navy commander stepped on board. No one knew her. No one expected her. But what she did next changed the single dad's fate forever. The cold had a way of settling into a man's bones when he worked double shifts, and tonight it clung to Ethan Hayes like a second skin. He was a single dad, a janitor, and a man who had learned to live with exhaustion. His little girl, Mia, slept against his shoulder as the late-night bus rattled through dimly lit streets. She was 7, bright-eyed, and the only reason Ethan kept pushing himself to survive one more day, one more shift, one more month of overdue bills. It was almost midnight. Ethan kept his eyes half open, counting the stops until home. He knew the bus route like a map of worn memories. The night crowd was usually quiet: nurses, factory workers, a few students, the occasional person trying to outrun whatever mistakes they had made. Then the calm cracked. A young woman stumbled onto the bus at the next stop. She was maybe 19 or 20, clutching her bag, her breathing sharp, her eyes darting as if she was running from something. Ethan noticed right away, fear like that didn't appear out of nowhere. It followed you. Before the doors could close, 2 men jumped in after her. Big men. Loud. The kind of trouble that smelled like alcohol and arrogance. They scanned the bus and locked eyes on her. She shrank into her seat, trembling. Ethan felt Mia stir slightly against him. He gently adjusted her head, whispering, "Just sleep, sweetheart." She didn't wake. She trusted him completely. And that trust meant he couldn't look away from the girl across the aisle. The men sauntered toward her, grinning. The bus driver glanced at them through the mirror, and then pretended not to see. One of the men leaned over the girl. "Told you we weren't done talking." She shook her head. "Please, leave me alone." But people like them didn't hear the word. No. Ethan tried to stay calm, tried to think. He had Mia. He had responsibilities. He had nothing but the clothes on his back and the job he had nearly lost twice. Getting involved could destroy everything he had barely managed to hold together. Then he felt a tug on his jacket. Mia, half asleep, whispered, "Daddy, please help her." Her voice was soft. But it was enough to break any hesitation inside him. He stood. The bus went quiet. Ethan stepped into the aisle, shifting Mia onto one arm as he faced the men. His heart pounded. He wasn't a fighter. He wasn't a soldier. He was just a janitor who scrubbed floors until midnight. But he could see exactly how scared the girl was, and he knew that if he didn't stand between her and danger, no one else would. "Leave her alone," Ethan said, voice low but steady. The men turned. One sneered. "Or what?" Ethan didn't know. He truly didn't. But he held his ground. She said no. "Back off." One man laughed. "Look at you. Mr. Mop and Bucket is feeling brave tonight." Ethan didn't flinch. He adjusted Mia protectively on his hip. "I'm holding my daughter. Don't make this worse." The girl whispered, "Please, please stop." The bigger man stepped so close Ethan could smell the alcohol on his breath. "You think holding a kid makes you untouchable?" Ethan swallowed. He didn't move. He didn't blink. Then the man shoved him. Ethan stumbled but didn't fall. Mia whimpered but didn't cry. That gave him strength. The girl stood suddenly, trying to run toward the front of the bus, but the second man grabbed her arm. She screamed, loud enough to make every passenger jolt but not loud enough for anyone to do anything. Ethan felt something inside him ignite. "Let her go!" he roared. He moved without thinking, grabbing the man's wrist and yanking him away from the girl. The other lunged at Ethan, but Ethan stepped back, shielding Mia with his body. He took a hit to the shoulder, pain shooting down his arm, but he didn't budge. Mia clung to him, terrified but trusting. Passengers gasped. The bus driver yelled that he was calling the police, but the men didn't care. They closed in on Ethan like wolves ready to tear apart the weakest in the pack. But Ethan wasn't the weakest. Not tonight. Stay behind me, he told the girl, who nodded while shaking uncontrollably. Just as the bigger man lunged again, the bus hissed to a stop at its next station. The doors opened. Cold air rushed in. And Boots stepped onto the bus. A woman in a navy uniform. Tall. Focused. Sharp eyes that saw everything in an instant. She surveyed the scene, the terrified girl, the two men towering over a janitor holding his child, the frozen passengers. Her voice cut through the chaos with a command that felt like steel. Enough. The men turned, and instantly knew they had chosen the wrong night. The Navy commander stepped forward. Ethan had no idea who she was, but everything in his life was about to change because of her. The first man tried to shrug off the situation with a cocky smirk. "Lady, stay out of this." The commander didn't raise her voice. She didn't need to. "Sit down. Both of you." There was something in her tone, authority honed from years of service, discipline forged through storms the average person never saw. The men exchanged a glance, confused, threatened, unsure whether to challenge her or back down. The bigger one stepped forward. "Who do you think you are?" She removed her gloves slowly, revealing hands strong enough to end the fight before it began. "Commander Elena Rowe, United States Navy. And right now, I'm the reason you'll be walking off this bus in one piece if you obey." The man faltered. "Just a second." But a second was enough. "Sit," she repeated. This time, both obeyed. The passengers exhaled collectively, but the tension didn't fade. Elena approached Ethan, her expression shifting from commanding to gentle. "Are you and your daughter okay?" she asked. Ethan nodded, though his arm throbbed. "We're fine. Thank you." Mia looked up at the commander, eyes wide. "You saved us." Elena knelt so she was eye level with the little girl. "Your dad saved you. I just made sure the bad guys stopped." The words hit Ethan deeper than she realized. Few people ever noticed what he did. Fewer appreciated it. The girl who'd been chased swallowed hard, tears streaming silently down her face. "Thank you, both of you." She couldn't even finish. Elena placed a steady hand on her shoulder. "You're safe now. The police will meet us ahead." The bus driver confirmed the police were already on their way. The passengers murmured relief, looking at Ethan with a respect they hadn't shown him earlier. But Elena wasn't done. She stood, turning back to Ethan. "You handled yourself incredibly well. Most people wouldn't have stepped in, especially not while holding their child." "I couldn't just sit there," Ethan said quietly. "My daughter asked me to help." Elena's eyes softened. "Then she has a good father." His throat tightened. Compliments were rare in his world. When the bus finally came to a stop at the police checkpoint, the officers boarded, handcuffed the two men, and began taking statements. Elena provided her account with crisp precision. The young woman shakily told hers. Then it came time for Ethan. An officer approached. "Sir, based on witness accounts, you acted in self-defense and protected two civilians. You won't be facing any issues for engaging." Ethan nodded, grateful. "Thank you." But Elena wasn't done. When the officers stepped away, she looked at Ethan thoughtfully. "You said you're a janitor?" "Yeah," he said. "Been doing it since Mia was born." "You work nights?" "Double shifts. Most days." Elena hesitated for a moment, as if weighing a decision. Then she finally said it. "Men with courage like yours shouldn't be overlooked." Ethan blinked, unsure what she meant. "What do you do when you're not working?" she asked. "Mostly take care of Mia," he said. "I used to be pretty good with tools. Fixing things. Mechanic work. But life got in the way." Elena thought for a long moment. Then she reached into her pocket and handed him a card. "Tomorrow morning," she said, "come to this address. It's our naval support facility. I run a maintenance and logistics program for civilian hires. We need people with integrity. People who act when no one else will. Ethan stared at the card, stunned. Are you offering me a job? I'm offering you a chance, she said. The rest is up to you. Mia squeezed his hand. Daddy, this could help us. His chest tightened. Hope was a feeling he hadn't allowed himself in years. Elena smiled. You protected someone who couldn't protect herself. That's the kind of character the Navy values. Come tomorrow. Let me show you what opportunities look like. As the commander stepped off the bus, the passengers watched her like she was a living symbol of justice. Ethan watched her with something else, gratitude so heavy it nearly made his knees buckle. He held Mia close. Daddy, she whispered. I knew you would help her. I knew you'd be brave. He kissed the top of her head. I was only brave because you believed in me. The bus doors closed. The night air felt different, lighter, warmer, full of possibilities Ethan had never imagined. And as the bus carried him and Mia home, he realized the truth. A single act of courage had changed the course of their entire lives. A janitor. A father. A protector. And tomorrow morning, maybe the beginning of something bigger. If you want, I can also create. SEO package, viral description, thumbnails prompts, titles variations, chapter timestamps, or an extended version for a 2-hour video.